Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It is 9:56 a.m. and that of course means that we're on to our last interview for today, and one that I've been really looking forward to. We're going to be talking with the dynamic transformational life coach, and that of course is Fatima Talia. She's got a lot to share with us this morning in the time that we do have available. And I just think that if you are parents of teenagers, this is what you need to be listening to and ensuring that your teens, in fact, attend this session. Fatima Talia, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for inviting me.
You know, I kind of have you in the back of my mind from time to time. And just when I've kind of almost forgotten, then you come back onto the scene with something amazing. Alhamdulillah. Um,
Alhamdulillah.
you're busy, busy, busy all the time, but busy with a purpose. And that purpose is to touch lives in a positive way. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you. Tell us a little
Mm.
bit about yourself. I know you come from a very strong educational background. I also know that you're an author of a book, and you're going to tell us a little bit about that. And then we're going to go on to your coaching sessions. And this time around, the key question being, why have you chosen teenagers as to start coaching? But let's start right at the beginning, a little bit about Fatima Talia.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the very short version of Fatima Talia. So I'm a businesswoman. I'm an author and a poet, and I'm also a transformational life coach. And it's because of the life coaching that I've done the life coaching for a while now. And I'm into education, as you've mentioned before. We've got a little school. And what I've done now is I have developed an EQ syllabus, and I'm rolling it out at the school in response to what the parents were telling me in my coaching sessions. And the EQ is what I've realized is what's lacking in our education system, and basically even amongst our community, which people are not aware of, and they don't understand how important emotional needs are for their kids. And from time to time, parents tell me they are overwhelmed by parenting. And I've actually discovered that it's the children that are overwhelmed uh, by the lack of support, emotional support from their parents.
Now, in the past, when we were growing up, there was a very strong emphasis on IQ.
Yeah.
And I kind of, there was so much of emphasis on IQ. Um, and you were also told as a child that you should be seen and not heard, and focus, focus, focus on your madrasa work and your school work. And you will go very far in the world with that as your very sound foundation. Things have changed dramatically, and there's a huge focus on EQ. Tell us, what's the difference between IQ and EQ, just for those people who are still confused about it.
Okay, good. So yes, you're absolutely correct. For the longest time, we were focusing only on the academic. I won't even call it needs anymore, because we as parents were focusing on the academic performance of the child. So we focus so much on the academic performance of the child that we totally neglect the emotional needs of the child. Whatever worked previously, it doesn't work now anymore. That era is gone, and we need to adjust to what is happening right now. The conditions around the children at the time that we were parents or our grandparents did their parenting, those times are gone. They're not there anymore. So we needed to adjust to what's happening right now. And it took me a while to figure out where the disconnect lies, because we've been seeing for the longest time the entitlement mentality. We've been seeing that the children are not coping, and I was getting all of that, particularly from the parents, like, oh, they can't cope and they are overwhelmed. And I said, okay, what is it? I've heard all their stories, And being at the school gave me the perfect opportunity to figure out from the kids what are their stories, because you always need a balance. You're going to be talking to the parents and they are talking about their children. So then you need to talk to the parents so that you get the full picture. You don't get just one side of the picture. And that's where I've realized, or I've figured out what it is that the children need. Hence, I decided to have this teenage workshop so that there will be less conflict between the parents and the children.
Okay, so here's where I come in about that issue. I know that you run regular coaching courses for women. I'm not sure if you have men in those courses as well or not. But in a situation like this where you're targeting teenagers, and I always wonder about this, if there is, in fact, any any connect or disconnect. So if I should come, or if my teenager should attend the course that you're offering, and the amazing thing about this is that it is absolutely free of charge. Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for it.
Mhm.
um, is they going to go through a process with you, I presume a 2-hour process. They're going to come home, but nothing will have changed for mom and dad, because mom and dad won't know what was discussed, how to deal with the situations that arose at the workshop. And not necessarily my child or my grandchild, but in general, they're not going to know what was discussed, what the outcome was of of that particular workshop, and how they need to be doing things differently. So, what's the plan?
Okay, so the plan is going to be okay. So, what happened is last year I've done a few mindful parenting workshops. So, there I was listening to the parents and what problems they're facing and what challenges they're facing with the kids. So, I've done quite a few parenting workshops there. Having said that, I got a lot of good reviews, excellent reviews from the parents themselves, because what I spoke to them about, they could actually use it for their children. This time around, I've turned it where I said, okay, now it's the turn of the teenagers. So the teenagers are going to come there and really tell me what is going on. And because and I know what's going on with the teenagers because of my school and what I'm doing there with the kids. So I've already got that rapport with children, and I understand their needs and I understand what it is that they are looking for. Now, this time, this is by invitation, or well, not invitation. I mean, the parents will book, and they've booked for their teenagers to come through. Now, immediately after that, the following week, I'm going to be having a session for the parents. So I'm pretty certain that those parents that had booked their children in for these sessions are going to be coming there to for the parenting session after that, and they will understand what are the issues that their children face, and how is it that they can handle the children better. So
I
yes, that's
like
already
that.
in the pipeline. Yes.
I like that because I was wondering about the disconnect. And obviously, you are going to, when you give the feedback, it's going to be on a very general, in a very general fashion. So you're not going to be saying, oh, Julie, your son. Or
Mhm.
your daughter or your granddaughter has come up with this issue. So it's going to be very generalized so that we can
Yes,
learn as well. So when you throw out general things, I can say to myself, well, that's not our problem. However, I can be wary in future should something like that crop up. So I think
correct.
that's really a master stroke from you. I commend you for it. Alhamdulillah. In
Thank
fact,
you.
I'm sitting here thinking, I hope I can be a fly on the wall on the day you having this workshop for the teenagers. As a matter of fact, I think I might attend. I might
Thank
just
you.
come
Do that.
along. I might just
Absolutely
come along,
fine.
just get a feel of what goes down. So
Yes.
tell us, Fatima, when and where is it going to happen, and how does one go about booking for this? And I emphasize the free session for teenagers. It's empowering teenagers with any form of issues that they might have.
Yes, so it's going to be happening at the venue is Auckland Park Learning Center. We're based at 74 Richmond Avenue, Auckland Park. It's going to be held on Saturday, the 15th of February. And we're going to be starting promptly at 10:30, and closer to the time, I'm going to be reminding all the parents to come through with their kids already by 10 o'clock so that we can do a good registration. And yeah, it's absolutely free. In the following week, we will be doing the follow up with the parents, whoever wish to come. And, it's generally my parenting workshops are a big winner as well, because there's a lot of take home for them. Really, parenting, Julie, is um, partly intuitive, and the rest of it is skills based. So we were
Mhm.
not born knowing how to parent. When we give birth to our kids, it's not automatically we will know how to parent. Like I said, certain things are intuitive, but the rest of the things are skills based, and we can acquire skills at any point in our lives.
Alhamdulillah. It's essential to book people who are watching us or listening to us this morning and don't manage to take down the details. Do you have an email address that they could actually go to, or a web page or something which would be easiest for them?
At this point in time, I'm just doing it via WhatsApp. Is it okay for me to give out my number?
Absolutely perfect.
Okay, great. So they can just WhatsApp me at 082 And I've just been taking the bookings on via WhatsApp.
Okay, the other important question is this going to be mixed? Is it going to be for girls only, or are you having a mix of girl and boy teenagers there?
All teenagers are welcome. Boys and girls are welcome. And generally, with my sessions, I've now opened it out to men and women as well, my adult sessions, simply because there is a need for it. I actually do it the other way around. I respond to the needs of the community. So I don't go out there and do my own thing. I would choose a topic that is general, and then I hear what is it that the community wants, and then I respond to that. The same way I do it with the children. I don't know if I have enough time. I can just mention an example of how I work with the children and
Go ahead.
the feedback that I get from them.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, good. So, as I've mentioned, I've been rolling out the EQ syllabus for the children. They are, imagine, they are little ones. They are grade fours, fives, and sixes, and yet they come up with the most beautiful topics. I did the session last week. I normally do it on a Tuesday morning. And so last week, Tuesday, I was in there and I said to welcome them all back from school and those, the new ones that were there. And I said to them, okay, today we're going to be talking about transitions. We're going to be talking about a change of dynamic, and we're going to be talking about the impact thereof. And so they know how we work. And I always start about what does Islam say about this? And then we carry on and we do the topic. And then we round it off with again, what does Islam say about whatever it is we're discussing about? And then I asked them when we were done, I asked them, so for next week, what would you like me to discuss? And you would be amazed by some of the topics that I got. Some of them spoke about, Molima, why don't you do about anger? Why don't you talk to us about anger, about
Wow.
fear, about disgust, about loneliness? That was a big one for me. I mean, for the little ones to tell me to talk to them about loneliness. And then there was somebody else who said to me, please talk to us about being a middle child. So
Oh,
these are the
classic.
I know. So we know what we want to talk about, but we're getting it wrong. We need to hear it from them. What is it that they want to talk about, and then we'll get it right with the kids.
Fatima, that's where we have to leave it. Just very quickly, does bullying come up in a big way? And do you then teach the kids how to deal with that dynamic?
Yes, bullying does come up. In fact, I've got my notes open here. I did the bullying workshop for my kids there. I did it on the 20th of August last year. Again, the kids wanted to know about bullying, and we did that. And at my school, we just so past the bullying because we just do things very differently. They're always thinking about the emotional needs, and they know that every single day the rule, not the rule, what we encourage there is you do not go home unhappy. That is what we talk about at our school. So yes, the academic side is there and we do it, but from the emotional side, Nobody goes home unhappy. So bullying we've done, and these are all the other things that they have brought in, which I also do.
Just remind us about the name of your school and where you are in fact situated.
So it's called Auckland Park Learning Center. Some people call it APLC, and we're based at 74 Richmond Avenue, Auckland Park. Yes, please come through.
And do you start from your grade R right up to matric, or how does it work?
At the school at the moment, we do from triple R, grade triple R. We're going right up to grade 6. Next year, inshallah, we'll go to grade 7, and that's where we'll stop because we don't have infrastructure to go higher. So we will stop at grade 7 in terms of our school.
Fatima, always an absolute pleasure interacting with you. I could sit here talking to you all day long, but we'll leave that for another time. But you
Okay, good.
go well, and I think I certainly am going to be attending on that day just to get a sense of what is this all about. And it probably empower me not only in my interaction with my grandchildren, but with people in general, because those are the basic principles, is it not?
Yes.
Interaction, communication, how to deal with conflict, etc., etc., etc. I look
Mm.
forward to it. Good luck until we meet again. Salaam alaikum. Keep us in your duas.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please keep me in your du'as as well. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thumma Amin. And time for us to wrap up 12 after 10 o'clock. Thank you indeed for your company. Hope you've enjoyed the show as much as I've enjoyed your company. Till next week, Monday, the same time as always, take care. And Assalamu alaikum from me, Julie Ali.